It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and it's time to open another door on the beer advent calendar. We're getting towards the end of this calendar now. We are on door number 17, which is down here. I've really enjoyed it though. I've really enjoyed it. We've got another 7 days to go. There's been lots of kind of terrific beers in this calendar. There really has, from breweries that not really kind of known, not really kind of had before. Beers from breweries I've not had in years, and beers that I've reviewed and kind of enjoyed having a kind of second poke at it, if you like, a second little look at it. Now this looks like a new brewery to me, unless they've changed their branding. It is Malt Coast Pale Ale, 4.2% ABV. Yeah, and they're from Branthill Farm in the North Norfolk coast. Looks lovely, doesn't it? 330 millilitre can, 4.2% ABV. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer. Now, beer in the glass. Now we're going to use a pale ale glass. So we'll use, I think we'll use this glass here. See if it's can conditioned. So what have we got then? We got a 1 finger white head, good levels of good levels of carbonation. It's slow carbonation. There's a little bit of sediment in the bottom of the glass there, and it's hazy, amberish coloured ale. Never heard of this company, the Malt Coast. Mind you, they're in Norfolk, so all the way down kind of that way for us. We're on the where are we? West coast of the island of the British Isles, and they're on the east coast. Aroma. Citrusy, grapefruity, a little bit of passion fruit. You definitely get the malt. Definitely get the malt in the beer. It smells really good. It smells like it's got a really good balance to it. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, I'm going to take a guess at this. Now, they've not mentioned any kind of hops. I've not read anything in regards to the hops. I've read there's a bit of Maris Otter in there, which is the malt. But the hops have not been mentioned. And I'm going to say this is a traditional, it's cold out here, I'm like, a traditional British pale ale. And I say that because it's got a really, I almost want to say sharp bitterness. It's got that bitterness that lingers quite long. It's British hops that have been put in the boil kettle. That's the best way to describe it. If you work in the brewing industry, or if you do some home brewing, then you'll know exactly what I mean by that. when you put hops, any hops in the boil kettle, you're pulling out the kind of the bitterness, almost like the astringency from the hops, the bitterness, and you're making the beer nice and bitter. When you use American hops in that process, you still get a bit of grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. But when you use traditional British hops, like a Brambling Cross or let's use Brambling Cross. It gives more of almost like a really strong tea-like bitterness. Like you've made yourself a really strong cup. You've let the tea bag brew in the tea for a real long time, and your tea's almost black. It's that kind of similar thing with brewing, is that they put the hops in the boil kettle, in the boiling water, and it pulls out all of that kind of everything from the hop, including a lot of the bitterness. It's so what I'm trying to say is, it's a nice beer. It is a nice beer. But it could do with some hop flavour. It could do with some hop flavour rather than just hop bitterness. It's like a really dark berry hop flavour coming through. There is a little bit of sweetness from the malt. There is a little bit of sweetness over here. So you've got sweetness over here, bitterness over here. So there is a little bit of balance, but it's more balanced towards the bitterness, most definitely. There's a little bit of carbonation that pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth to release more of that flavour. It's drinkable. It's refreshing. Where am I going with this? It's just a bit like when a brewer makes an effort to put a can of beer or beer in a can, a craft can, then they usually look at American hops, and they usually look at kind of like doing newer things. What I'm trying to say is, you could probably buy, because a can of craft beer is more money anyway. They seem to put a premium on a can of craft beer. Just look, if you're in the supermarket, just look at the glass bottles and then look at the cans, and you'll see there's a premium on a can. You'll see there's more money to be paid on a can. But this is tasting more like brown bottled in the ale section of the supermarket, rather than like newer world craft beer. That's okay. That's okay. I like traditional British beer. It's just kind of quite a slightly confusing thing to do, I think. Our clean, crisp Maris Otter malt combines with shore-facing pine and refreshing citrus hop flavours. Truly a beer for the best of times. I don't know. I don't know if this is a dare I say it, Malt Coast. There's not really much going on about it. There's not really kind of much that I don't know if it's a bit, what I'm trying to say, is it a big company behind this I've never heard of them, to be honest. And when a company kind of just crops up like that, it's just not much on the side of the can about them. It don't know who they are, you know. Anyway, I'm going to rate the beer, but first of all, check out Virgin Wines, where the beer advent calendar come from. It's really good. It's really good. I've had a really good selection of beers from this. I've really enjoyed it. Check it out, Virgin Wines. But yeah, rating, it's just a bit bland, if I'm honest. Just a little bit bland. I've had better pale ales. It's a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.